Hi friends, so I'm going to be going over the math that is in your packet this week. It's not super hard math, it's meant to be fun and math that you're going to do with your flat Miss Bly, okay? So the first page that's in there is this page. And the directions say choose a starting place, so a point A, so that's the place you're going to start, and walk with your flat teacher while counting your steps until you get to your ending place. Record how you got to that place. So if you walked, if you skipped, if you ran, if you hopped, anything like that. And then you're going to do that for 3 different places. So this is the paper that you're going to fill out. So point A, you're going to choose where you're going to start. So let's say you're starting inside your house. You're going to start in the kitchen. So you're going to write here, let's say I started in the kitchen. Point A is the kitchen. Remember, you don't have to do that. It's just an example. Okay. Then I'm going to walk from the kitchen to my room. I'm going to put these in red so you can see the difference. Okay. So let's say you said point B was your room. So you're going to go to the kitchen. You're also you're going to choose how you're getting there. So are you going to walk? Are you going to skip? Are you going to run? Are you going to hop? If you do something other than that, you're going to write it on this line here, okay? Remember, this is just an example. So let's say I started in my kitchen and I skipped to my room. I'm going to skip until I get to the room. I'm going to hold my Miss Bly while I'm doing it. We're going to skip together. And as I'm skipping, I'm going to count how many steps I'm taking, okay? So let's say it took me 12 steps to get from the kitchen to my room. I'm going to write 12 here. I'm going to circle skipping because that's what I chose to do. I chose to skip. And then I'm done with number 1. So that was just an example. And then you're going to do this 2 more times, okay? And you're going to do it however you want. And then the next page says, as you are taking pictures with your flat teacher during the week, find a clock. So that can be a digital clock or an analog clock. If you want to even look at, if you have a phone or if your parents have a phone, if you want to even look at their clock, that's fine. And write down the time that you're taking your picture. And you're going to do that 3 more times, but you can do it even more than that if you want to. You're also going to draw the hands on the clock to represent the time. So, and then you want to make sure you put AM or PM. So, for example, if I was taking my picture with my flat teacher right now, let's say I was taking my selfie. Okay, I took my picture. I'm going to look at the time on here. So my time, if you can see, says 12:35. 12:35. I could also look on my kitchen clock, right? We have a few clocks. So right here, it says, what time is it? So the time that I took that picture, I just told you, was 12:35. And then on my clock, I would draw 12:35. I would draw the hands. So it's not letting me show you on my paper, so I'm just going to do it on here. So my time was 12:35, so I'm going to start with my hour hand. I know that my hour hand is a little bit shorter, so it made it into a nice arrow for me. 35 case. So I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Oh, this is 35. Okay, so then I'm going to draw my second line because it's 12:35. I'm going to draw my second line here, and it's going to be a little bit longer because it's the minute hand. Okay, so you're going to do that on all of these clocks, okay? So I want you to do at least 3, but you can do more. And I forgot to do it up here. I want you to write if it's AM or PM. So it's in the afternoon right now, so it's PM. If it was in the morning, it would say AM. All right? Okay. Then the next paper says you're going to measure your flat teacher using the attached ruler. So your packet should have a paper ruler attached to it. If it doesn't, you can just choose something to use as a ruler. So, okay, like I was saying, if you didn't get your ruler for some reason, you can choose an object in your house to use as your form of measurement. So for example, I have a couple Sharpies, so I could use my Sharpie as my ruler. And I could say, so my first step is to measure your flat teacher using the attached ruler. So if I were to measure this, actually that's perfect. This is about 1 Sharpie long. So my form of measurement would be Sharpie length. Then we're going to find at least 4 items in your house to measure, and using whatever you're using as your ruler. So you could use the ruler that I gave you, or you can find one online and print it out, or you can use like an object, like I said, like this, or a pencil would work. You're going to write down each measurement, and then after you measure each item, you're going to compare the size of each item that you measure and the size of your flat teacher. So I will show you an example. Okay, so let's say my first item I'm going to measure is I have a pillow here. So I'm going to write item number 1 is a pillow. Okay. And then I'm going to measure it with my Sharpie, like I said. So 1, we'll start up here. 1, 2, 3, about 4 Sharpies long. And it's just a guess, it doesn't have to be perfect. So 4, and then instead of inches, I'm going to cross out inches and write Sharpies, because that's what I'm using as my form of measurement. If you're using a ruler, you could leave the inches part. Okay. So we said my flat teacher was 1 Sharpie long. And so the pillow is 4 Sharpies long, the flat teacher is 1 Sharpie long, and then it says my flat teacher is bigger or smaller than item number 1. So was the flat teacher bigger or smaller than the pillow? We can look at the objects, we could also look at the numbers. 1 is smaller than 4. So my flat teacher is smaller than item number 1. Okay, that's just using an object if you don't have a ruler. All right, and then the last paper you have, it says look at the shape and then find an item in your house that looks like that shape and then write the name of the item on each line. So this one doesn't really have to do with the flat teacher, but you can bring me along with you as you're finding the things in your house, okay? So here are the shapes. We have a cone, a sphere, a cylinder, a cube, and a pyramid. I'm going to say them again, and I want you to say those words with me because those are some tricky vocabulary words. Okay, ready? This is a cone, you say. This is a sphere, you say. This is a cylinder, you say. This is a cube, you say. Last one, this is a pyramid, you say. Okay, so you're going to find objects in your home that look like these shapes. So for example, just sitting outside on my patio right now, I have this cool little mason jar, and it actually turns into a light, which is pretty cool. This is just sitting right next to me. Which one of these do you think it is the same 3D shape as? I think it looks like a cylinder, right? Because it's round on the top and the bottom, and it has no edges. I'm gonna go find another object as an example. Cylinder. This is so if you have any cans in your house, this would work for cylinder. This is tomato sauce. And then I found a cube. So this is one of my Tupperwares. And it is in the shape of a cube. Some other examples for a cone. You could find even a pencil is like a cone because the eraser is bigger and then it gets smaller down to the tip of the pencil. If you have any like party hats, that's an example of a cone. For a sphere, if you have any like a basketball or a baseball or any kind of round ball that you use for sports, that would work as a sphere. If you have an orange, I have an orange in my kitchen I could have got for a sphere. Cylinder, like I said, any like canned foods that you have would totally work as a cylinder. A cube, if you have any boxes, I know we're all ordering from Amazon a lot, so any Amazon boxes. If you have a dice, actually, I have some dice in there. A dice would work. And then I know pyramid is a little tricky. I actually just thought of this one. We have a tent that we use for camping that is in our storage. And if we put that together, that would be a pyramid as well. So I could write tent here. All right, so that is your math for the week. I hope this helped you guys. Friends, have a great week.